we have the tapes.
Oh,
we have the information.
Of grabbing Oasis Church.
Because we wanted to work hard. Remember that to be independent, financially independent of the church.
Yeah.
So that our lifestyle was never
dependent
on the church.
Hey, watch this. Watch how we bring it out of him.
Because I was talking to, and the crazy as a pastor, I could ruin so many lives.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They're talking about the power that
all
they
I need is just one
original email that was sent to in regards to the Gathering Oasis church salary. So it says this is urgent, so please read it in its entirety.
Hold on. Just to set the table where we're at. We just saw a clip of the ex-pastor Cornelius and Heather, who said that they were completely financially independent of the church. When I get the impression of someone saying they are completely financially independent of the church, this means that they do not accept or take any type of salary or payment from the church. Is that correct? I mean, that's what I get.
That would be the assumption, right?
If you are completely financially independent, to me, that means that they too are volunteers. They just wake up in the morning, go to do church work, do the work, and never accept any type of payment for that work. That would be completely financially independent from the church. But it looks as if we have an email from the inner workings of this organization that shows otherwise.
Hello, hope this email finds you well, and I appreciate your patience for waiting on the reports. I just reviewed our accounts and finances that the Gathering Oasis Church has coming in and going out. Here's the proposal.
Right, you can see on top. This is from the administrative office of the Gathering Oasis Church. Can't really fake that email address. It's pretty clear this is coming from their organization. All right.
To increase Pastor Cornelius's pay, housing stipend, etc. This is listed as a monthly basis. Pastor stipend, $8,000. Child care expenses, $3,000, $1,000 per child. Housing expense, $3,000 for a total of $14,000.
I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
The funds.
That's per month?
Per month, indeed.
Stop it. He gets
$14,000 right there. Make it 6 figures right there.
He gets $14,000 per, well, used to. He's an ex-pastor.
Emotional, damn it.
But when he was the pastor of this church that he claimed he was financially independent from, he was getting $14,000 a month from this church that he claims to be financially independent from.
We have the receipts, man. We have the receipts.
That will be allotted to pastors should only be contributed to home, households as personal needs. Moving forward, there shouldn't be any transfers to others from his money. All other requests that come to pastors should be submitted as benevolence requests and approved by proper departments, procedures. Now let's talk about the vendors, contractors that are on hire for church. Please see listed below and my suggestions moving forward. My suggestion is those who have been on hire for 6 months to present stay grandfathered into their pay. This is on a monthly basis payout. So this is what they pay their staff. Pastor's aide, $2,000, audio engineer, $800, worship leader, $1,500, pianist, $1,200, security, $1,600. The new hires we just brought on, let's put them on a probation period. I feel like numbers listed below will put us at the top of our budget. If they do not produce the work, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, it's just, this bottom part right here where it says video producer is just what the starting pay for the people on the staff. I have to send out this proposal about increasing Cornelius's pay. And as you can see, they have been paying their assistant and everybody else pennies compared to what they were making. But as you guys just heard, they hopped on their podcast and repeated. Let's go to this house that they bought.
Here we go.
I won't show you the address. I'll just show you their agent because their agent is public information. So their agent is Timothy Johnson. And just so you guys can know that this is their house, look at the pictures. Look at the kitchen.
That's a kitchen. That is a movie style kitchen. That is, man, that's
all Lindsey's videos and stuff like that. And so you can see here that this is the same agent, same people, and you can see the date. Can you see the date this was posted? Yeah, September 2019. And so how I found the house once again is this is the same guy. This is public information too. I can scroll down and
real estate. See, people don't understand. You can cap about a lot of stuff. Real estate in the U.S. There's a reason why it's trackable.
Well, you Puerto Rico too.
Yeah, you can't do whole lot of fighting over real estate. We will always be able to track down the real estate. Always.
Even in Puerto Rico.
Right, even in Puerto Rico for you trade and travel fans, we can always track down the real estate.
You know, the date that this property closed, and it matches up with the date that they posted on their Facebook. So as you can
see, $1,050,000
approximately,
yeah, $1 million house that I talked to you guys about. They said the church never paid them any money. They repeatedly said that they never made anything from the church. All they did was give out.
And here's the thing. So right there, what you see, housing allowance. Let me explain to some people who may not understand what a housing allowance is in ministry. Don't matter what church you're in. If it's religious based, you have a special little carved out section of the IRS code that allows for your housing expense, which they refer to as a parsonage, right? Your housing expense as someone that is a part of any type of ministry, Christian ministry, Islamic ministry, Hindu, Buddhist, Church of Scientology. It don't matter. If you are a part of something that is considered a established religion in this country, which is almost anything. In the United States, anything can be a religion. Don't get it twisted. Anything, you can be a believer in Jedi, right? It don't matter. It can be a established religion. Within the Internal Revenue Code, there's what's referred to as a housing allowance. The reason why you see on this board here, let's bring this back up. The reason why you see listed their housing expense, that $3,000 that the Lindseys get a month from the church, that goes to them tax-free. They do not have to pay taxes on any money that goes towards the upkeep and the maintenance of their housing situation. So that is an added bonus that only people like, it can't just simply be a nonprofit organization. It has to be a nonprofit organization that is related to some sort of faith, some sort of religion. So that's why they have it carved out like that as a $3,000 monthly housing expense. That's the reason why they did that, you know, so that money is clearly identified as he gets it, but he ain't getting taxed on it. So that means that $1 million home, the mortgage that they pay from that $1 million home, where they're getting there, clearly shows that they're getting the money to pay that mortgage from the church. Not only do they get it, but they get it tax-free, which honestly, take it for what it's worth. A lot of times it's abused. That's why most mega church pastors, if you look at their wealth is in their home.
My nigga, I'm glad you said this. I'm glad you have that position.
They live in the hugest, like, fortress type of homes because they can get paid millions of dollars a year. But if a majority of their income goes towards the home, it goes to them tax-free. That's just that's just how it is over here in the U.S. I don't know about, you know, up north where you are, but here in the U.S., if you are a pastor of any type of faith, you get your housing paid for free.
As you can see, in 2018, the church was still operating out of a movie theater in like a shared space. And I take that back. They might have been at their Decatur location, but the point is, it did not have a permanent location. The point is, they consistently kept lying to members, saying Pastor Cornelius didn't make a dime. When we see right here, everybody agreed to this man's salary increase to $14,000, and this was in 2018.
These pastors need to be willing to share in power, share in authority. If you are in an organization, in a church where there's no checks and balances, there is no council, there is no board. It's basically a dictatorship. One person can say whatever happens. It's all up to one person. If you're involved in a situation that is basically a religious dictatorship, that is a telltale sign that you need to get the hell out of there, because sooner or later it's going to blow up in your face.
So let me tell y'all something. What's happened with Cornelius is the money has ran out from the church. The church can no longer give him $14,000 a month because people have left, and now they want out. So you can believe what you want to believe about that podcast, but right here, I have real tangible proof with emails from Heather Lindsey and all the people that was on this fake board agreeing to approve this man's salary, who just hopped on a podcast and said that he didn't make a dime from the church. And I get it, you know, I know I sound a little hyped up right now. And it's because when you catch somebody in a lie that has caused people so much hurt and pain, it's hard for me not to get a little bit riled up, because he was on there on that podcast cussing and saying he can, it's just nothing but a phone call and he can totally destroy somebody's life. Baby, it's nothing but an email. And you have no idea the amount of evidence that other people have about everything that you guys have done.
Why are you boring me? I'm right.
So this is why the Lindseys are stepping down. It had nothing to do with being a new season. It had everything to do with money. Have a nice day.
Where Cornelius and Heather Lindsey used to co-pastor until things became too hot in the kitchen. AJ writes, the pastors of this church haven't even been to seminary school. Cornelius has also been heard on audio using the church as a tax haven to avoid paying taxes. Heather and Cornelius have been commingling funds and using church funds to pay off student loans, spa days, and other expenses. They must be stopped. Mary writes, please don't go to this church. After 7 years, they still don't have a building, but somehow had the money to buy $1 million house. Make it make sense. Heather and Cornelius Lindsey were also soliciting donations via Cash App in April 2020 for Goals Free giveaway. There it goes again. They posted on social media about supposedly giving away thousands of dollars, but never showed any receipts. Where did that money go? There's absolutely no leadership left whatsoever. They've all left. No one to hold them accountable. They themselves apparently have overseen the financials for years. Big red flag.
Everyone, listen up. You didn't lose your money. Now, you have your... Technically, you kind of lost your money.
Okay, because I've seen time and time again churches that either bring in a financial expert to help the church. I've seen situations where the church actually gets kickbacks from this scammer who comes in and tells them that I have a holy investment. Here it is, O'Shea. It's not a regular worldly investment. That's like, you don't know where your money's going in the regular world. You can have your 401k, and the 401k could be invested in a strip club, or your 401k could be invested in a casino. If you give me your money, I'll make sure your money is only being invested in godly things. That is one of the telltale signs that you know, honestly, time and time again, it is going to end up a scam. It's happened many times in churches in Atlanta, in the Midwest, on the East Coast, on the West Coast. You don't go to the church for investments, especially if they're offering you astronomical returns. Returns like 20%, 50%, 100% return on your money. That is not going to happen. No way, no how. And if they could get those type of returns, they wouldn't be at your church. They'll be on Wall Street somewhere making billions of dollars. So please, I'm begging you, do not look for investment opportunities in the church. That is not what the church is for.
Do they kind of also like, because people think that, you know, the power of God is so amazing. So is that what this is? Like, he can, you know, because Jesus turned, like, you know, 2 loaves of fishes and 5 bread. I don't know. You know, they do stuff like that.
This church will use any piece of scripture that they can to make it seem like this is the investment that you need to be involved in. God has blessed this investment. This is why you need to be here. Last time I checked, I've never seen an investment that was blessed by Jesus Christ. I just have not. It does not exist.
And this one is titled Major Thief Alert. I wonder how this one's gonna go. She says, this church is run by 2 scamming pastors, Cornelius Lindsey and his wife, Heather. Quote unquote, she claims to not be a pastor, but gets paid to preach. Make it make sense. Lindsey, they have several former pastors and leaders go on the record to say that they majorly misappropriate church funds. For example, they have been in business, because this is not a church, for 7 years and have no building. But they do have $1 million home. They also had the church pay $20K to Miss Lindsey for a car that stayed parked in the driveway and eventually was gifted to Cornelius' mom.
Whoa!
It hit you like bad thing, looking like good girl. Told me you different, baby, no acting. Haven't you heard of karma? Haven't you heard at all? Bad thing, looking like centerfold. Told me you different, baby, no acting. Haven't you heard of karma?
No jokes, I'm coming through for you. Been a while since I first knew you. You perfect, no need to change. Only thing that I wish is there was 2.